Good morning or greetings. So, right now I wanted to talk to you about one of the questions that I get asked a lot, which is what do people trade for and what do people trade for in or whatever? Because is gold and silver valuable and all that stuff. So, anyway, like I said, consider the fact that Venezuela has different kind of regulation and culture in the sense of the internet use for buying things. So, having said that, I am going to talk to you about something that you want to consider before anything. But before I do that, I wanted to remind you that down below is my email in case that you want to help me or support me by getting an Amazon gift card because I'm not monetizing the channel right now. And anyway, also if you want to, if you have questions or something, you can get to me by the comments because it's easier and faster. Email for me, I don't check that often. I check it probably I don't know, once every week or something. But the comments I do get to see them more frequently. So, having said all of that, here's the deal. When you go to a supermarket in a normal circumstance, then you get what we call normal. Normal means that you go to the supermarket to buy, for example, eggs or pens or whatever, and you go and you find them because they are there, and they are kind of affordable. Okay, that is normal. If something is affordable, within certain range, because obviously, what might be affordable to me might not be affordable to you, but it's kind of agreed upon the fact that it's affordable and you can find it. So that is normal. Now, let's say that there is a panic, or there is like a sell, or there is inflation, and then all of a sudden people say, hey, tomorrow rice is going to cost $5 instead of $2. So people that have money will run to buy the rice because they're not going to pay it for $5, but they're going to pay it for $2. So that's what people do. So when this happens, the product in question will become scarce. Scarce means that you will have to go to 3, 4, 5 places to try to get it. Or scarce means that it is out of your budget. There is no way that you're going to get it in your house because it is too expensive. So, having said that, then let's say that this is a permanent situation, or it's a big thing, and then for whatever reason the government needs to intervene. So, for example, let's say that there is a disease that killed all the cows, and people are rushing in to try to get all the meat. That's fine. Government are going to be like, okay, we're going to help the workers that is in the meat industry or whatever. But here's the kicker that is in the supermarkets, and this is a problem that you are going to get, and this is why the government is very likely to intervene. Without cows, there is not going to be milk. And without milk, then most people will not be able to do certain desserts or certain dishes, or they are not going to be able to drink coffee with milk. Now, here's the kicker. Most of the adults that will drink coffee with milk, they will not give it up. They will do whatever the hell it takes to drink their coffee with milk because that is part of their routine. That is part of how you do things. That is part of your sense of normalcy. So, what happens when you cannot find milk? Well, I can tell you right now, some people will use the milk as a kind of like a mineral substitution thing or whatever, but the point is that milk is something that is used a lot for old people. So the government is going to be like, hey. We are advising supermarkets to restrict the sale of powdered milk of one person, 2 packages, So then you will have restriction for the milk. But when people realize that they cannot get the milk, the normal milk, they will go and get the kids' milk. And that is where you have help coming together with you, because when people get all the milk, after that they will get the kids' milk, which threatens the kids because that's what you're giving to kids, and then they're going to go after the baby formula. Oh hell yeah, people will drink coffee with baby formula if they cannot find milk. Now, if you are a mother and you do need the baby formula, but the other guy is a 40-year-old guy who doesn't need the baby formula because he doesn't have kids, what do you think is going to happen? Oh hell, you're going to fight. And all other mothers are going to fight with you. And then you're going to have hell because baby formula, it's something that you absolutely need. Because there is no substitute. Well, that's what I thought anyway, but, a video part, baby formula you can actually make yourself later on with other ingredients, but most people do not know this and whatever. But the point is that since baby formula is an essential thing for the babies, that is going to be regulated. Now, here's the third type of product. When the government comes and says, hey, this product, you cannot put it in a higher price than this. The people cannot pay more than $15 for example. So they will go to the companies that make the baby formula, the diapers, and so many other things, and they will try to make it. They will try to make it so that people can afford it, which, by the way, it's going to be hell with the companies. And they're going to try to make deals with the supermarkets and distributors so that they restrict the sales to only mothers. So, for example, if you're going to buy baby formula, now you have to go out with papers proving that your kid has certain age and he or she needs the baby formula, otherwise they're not going to sell it to you. And on top of that, people will falsify things, and oh God, I have seen women who will put cushions into their bellies so that they look pregnant, and they're going to be like, oh my God, I don't have a baby, but I'm pregnant, please, just let me get inside and buy it. And you have no idea how crazy things are going to get once the government says this is regulated. Because you will find that when the companies are pressured to maintain certain price, and the supermarkets cannot sell it in with a certain price, even though the demand is so freaking high, because when the demand is so freaking high, prices are going to go up. And this is not inflation. This is just an adjustment thing for demand, and it is going to be temporary. But that temporary thing can last weeks or days or months. And most frankly, if you don't have formula for your kid, oh hell, you don't have weeks to buy formula. So what I'm trying to tell you is that scarce products, as in products that are very, very important to people, and they are regularly used by people. I'm not talking something that is very, nice to have, like deodorant and I don't know, body powder and stuff like that, or maybe even cologne or hairbrushes and stuff like that. Those things are quite important, but they are not essential for you to be alive. So if the government decides that the baby formula, the diapers, the rice, the flour, or whatever, it is essential to be alive, and then they start regulating that, that is when you will have the type of problems that will arise with a lot of trading and things mostly because people will actually get into fights and they will probably, stab you and stuff for trying to get them, especially if you're very, very down, the rabbit hole kind of a deal. When you're very desperate, you will do most whatever it takes to get the things that you need for your kids, especially if you have 4 kids in your house and you're a single mom and you're alone. So let me say this again. For trading and for in order for you to understand what is going to be valuable for trading and stuff like that, then you must understand what is regulated, what is a scarce, and what is normal product. Now, having said that, I'm going to tell you about things that you might want to get for trading. Trading, as in people are going to be looking for these, things that are very, very difficult to get because people already got them. And by the way, toilet paper is not one of them. So the first one, like I said, is going to be baby powder, like a baby formula powder thing. Because quite frankly, everybody is related to somebody that has a baby, right? Then there is the baby diapers. Then there is the adult diapers. Then there is the baby wipes. In kind of like order, I'm not saying that it is the exact order, but it's kind of like that order. So if you have a lot of these things, it's good to have, but keep in mind that these things have expiration dates. And when it comes to baby, hell no, you do not want to use anything that has expiration date on it and it has been expired, even if it is the baby wipes, because quite frankly, the baby wipes will last maybe 3 months or maybe 6 months after you buy them. They will still be wet, but the problem with that is that once you open them, if they are expired, once you open them, you have to use them like in 2 or 3 days, because otherwise they will be dry. They will dry so much faster once the expiration date is on that. So keep those things in mind. So that is not very good for storage. The diapers might be, but it will all depend upon who is doing the trading with you. So about the other things, I will say that the first one people will trade is flour, bread, like actual bread, like made bread, flour bread, cooking oil, sugar, rice, pasta, and coffee. Oh hell, you have no idea. Coffee will be probably the one that people will look